Morning and a pleasant welcome to Kear News Line. 45 minutes of news, views, and analysis on Liberia, Africa, and the rest of our global community. Today is Tuesday, February 18, 2025, and I am Mariama Jalloh presenting. These are stories topping the headlines. Employees of local washing institute stage peaceful protest demanding unsolved salary concerns as students and faculty members of the institution express frustration, calling for swiftly intervention to address employees' concerns. Barely 2 weeks following the end of alliance with ruling Unity Party, Liberty Party vows to checkmate the Waka Kun administration. Liberty Party SG Martin Kula reassures his party's commitment to ensuring accountability in government. Leadership crisis at National Teachers Association deepens as majority members of the National Executive Committee rejects audit report done by More Monrovia Association's North Central Region. Vice President James Miller argues that the audit group was unilaterally selected without the committee's knowledge. And away from Liberia, police in South Africa are hot on the heels of the suspects behind the killing of Moshe Madrix, dubbed the world's first openly gay imam. Deputy Justice Minister Andres Nell has said. Details of these plus other interesting developments are packaged in this news. Stay tuned as we take a short break to be right back. Welcome back and thanks for rejoining us. Let's now bring you the full bulletin of news. Employees of the Bosco Washington Institute have staged a go-slow demanding unsolved salary concerns. The action of the BWI employees brought no more activities on the campus to be standstill. The workers are demanding clarity and fairness in salary payments, citing delays and inconsistency that have affected their livelihoods. The protest, which was spearheaded by the Workers' Union of BWR, highlighted growing frustration among employees over what they describe as lack of transparency and accountability from the institution's administration. According to a statement presented to the administration, the employees stated that they have repeatedly engaged the administration on the matter but have received no concrete resolution. The employees further described authorities of the institution's action of unlawful and breach the tenets of democracy. Meanwhile, several students and faculty members have expressed concerns over what the situation, urging the institution's administration to find a swift resolution to prevent further disruptions. However, all attempts by our newsroom in getting a response from the BWR administration did not materialize. Following an end to the alliance with the Unity Party, the Secretary General of the Liberty Party says the party will advocate for Liberians and hold the Wakakun administration accountable for their actions. According to Martin C. Kula, the Unity Party must cease to give excuse and work in the best interest of the unprivileged citizens. Clarifying the recent statement made by the political leader Yomli Kanga Lawrence, Martin Kula asserted that the statement is not divisive but objective. He noted that the statement simplifies that the Liberty Party is back as a fundamental political institution seeking the interest of Liberians. The Liberty Party Secretary General made those comments during a radio talk show on Monday. Martin noted that the Liberty Party would be aggressive in its advocacy and keep the Unity Party led administration feet to the fire. However, the Liberty Party Secretary General has disclosed that while the party is in the process of reconciliation, the likelihood of fielding a candidate in the 2029 election is possible. The crisis in the National Teachers Association of Liberia seems to be far from ending, as the majority members of the National Executive Committee of the NATA have rejected the report of audits conducted by Mo Monrovia on January 30, 2025, Intel President Mary Newman disclosed that the first report of the audit conducted by Mo Monrovia is ready, but she is not the one being audited, rather those who are in charge of the funding at the association. But addressing a press conference in Monrovia on Monday, NTA's Vice President for North Central Region, James Miller, claimed that the audit frame selected to conduct the audit was selected unilaterally and without their involvement. The NTAL National Vice President for North Central Region disclosed that the majority bloc of the association is soliciting signatures of teachers in order to impeach Madam Newman as president. The Ministry of Justice has expressed concern about articles in newspapers and statements on social media alleging that a defendant, Peach Billity, was illegally released by the Ministry of Justice from the Monrovia Central Prison, where he was in crafted and awaiting trial for the crimes of unlicensed possession, sale, trade, administration, dispensation, among other crimes. According to a press statement issued, the Ministry of Justice informed the public that the new articles and statements are false and incorrect. The release added that defendant Peach Ability was released from the Monrovia Central Prison on November 15, 2024, upon the orders of His Honor A. Blamwell Dixon, Resident Saku George, Criminal Court C. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Justice is requesting the public to the Ministry of Justice on future events, adding that the ministry will endeavor to provide adequate and transparent explanations. The National Oil Company of Liberia has refuted reports circulating on social media that it purchased vehicles for US 45,000 each for its vice presidents, supposedly exceeding the national budget threshold of US 45,000. According to the press release, Nokal clarified that the information is inaccurate and baseless and only intended to misinform the public. The release added that the vehicles cost around 32,000, each adding that this meets the established threshold by the government of Liberia. The court also refuted claims that the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission has confirmed all vice presidents of NOCA were involved in the alleged financial management mismanagement of the company. The group noted that the information is not only misleading but also factually incorrect. Meanwhile, NOCA has urged the media and public to refrain from spreading misinformation that can harm the reputation of individuals and the integrity of the institution. The release added that Dokar remains committed to transparency and accountability in its operations, stressing the need for continuous collaboration with the LACC in its investigation. Nimba County Senator Yantua has disclosed that discussion of thresholds for elections is underway at the Liberian Senate. According to Senator Yantua, citizens are grossly underrepresented based on the failure to implement the report gathered from the census. Senator Yantua added that despite the Constitution provides that there should not be more than 100 representatives at a time. Constituents must be ably represented. He made these comments during a radio talk show in Monrovia on Monday. The Nimba County Senator further stated that an ad hoc committee has been established to work with relevant agencies, including legis, to establish a threshold that will be forwarded to the National Elections Commission. He revealed that based on the reports from the committee, the number of individuals representing a county might be increased or decreased in future elections. At the same time, Senator Yantuan noted that time for honeymoon is over, urging the executive branch to take swift actions to better the lives of citizens. The principals of Liberia's School of the Blind Jackson Sua has called for inclusion and empowerment of persons with disabilities at the Monrovia City Corporation. Mr. Sua wants government ministries and agencies, including the Monrovia City Corporation, to be inclusive in their programs and initiatives by recognizing and empowering persons with disabilities in Liberia. He added that people with disabilities are Liberians who also have the potential to contribute to the ordinance of the city, ensuring a clean, green, and safe environment. Jackson Sua expressed interest in working collaboratively with the Office of Monrovia City Mayor John Siafa on policies that will have positive impact on persons with disabilities to achieve the Monrovia we want mantra. Former Monserrado County District 7 Representative Solomon George has resigned from the opposition Congress for Democratic Change. According to a leaked communication dated February 12, 2025, the former District 7 lawmaker accused the party's political leader, George Weah, of lying to him and allegedly stabbing him in the back, adding that the CDC political leader pretended to be on the same page in doing the right thing. Solomon George also accused former President Weah of being very disrespectful to him because of his non-concurrence to issues he thought must be handled in a different way. The communication furthered that the CDC had a formidable formation of brains and force while they were in power, noting that internal wrangling has been the order of the day within the CDC. Solomon George, who is also a staunch member of the CDC, stressed that some wicked, evil, and ungodly people have joined the party with the intent to misuse the popularity of George Weah for their own personal advancement, stressing that he is incentive to split at such friendship and is capable of causing any damages. He, at the same time, accused George Weah of sending people after him and has been blocked from all CDC's chat rooms for the last 4 months, adding that it is a sign that he is no longer needed around the party. The Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission says it has not issued any official statement regarding details of case currently under investigation at the commission. LACC in a release said claims circulating on social media regarding details of case currently under investigation at the Commission are false and misleading. The release further urged that the public to refrain from spreading unverified information, adding that such has the ability to compromise investigations and mislead citizens. The Commission added that it remains committed to transparency and will provide official updates in keeping with the law. According to the release pursuant to Section 10.9 of the LACC Act of 2022, the Commission is prohibited from sharing preliminary details of findings of any ongoing investigation. The Commission said it will provide information to the public only upon indictment by a grand jury. That's the bulletin of news. Let's now bring you the voices of those making the news, starting with this development. Following an end to the alliance with the Unity Party, the Secretary General of the Liberty Party says the party will advocate for Liberians and hold the Waka Kun administration accountable for their actions, clarifying the recent statement made by the political leader Yumli Kanga Lawrence. Martin Kula asserted that the statement is not divisible but objective. The Liberty Party's Secretary General made his comments during a radio talk show on Monday.
The political scene is a little bit fluid and dynamic right now. We are committed to making sure that the Unity Party Alliance do what it is for the Liberian people. But like I always say, there's a lot of things open. There's a lot of things open. Myself, of our structure 2029. The Water Party, like I said, was not funded just to endorse or just to be in alliance. No, 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 no. The Water Party was funded for the purpose of taking people. There's a possibility.
However, the Liberty Party's Secretary General has disclosed that while the party is in the process of reconciliation, the likelihood of fielding a candidate in the 2025 election is possible.
The political scene is a little bit fluid and dynamic right now. We are committed to making sure that the Unity Party Alliance do what we had our process, the voter registration, and we came back to say our people thank you for taking all their time to register to vote. And we saw that our community was that.
The voice of Liberty Party Secretary General Martin Kula there speaking. The crisis in the National Teachers Association of Liberia seems to be far from ending, as the majority members of the National Executive Committee of the NTA has rejected the report of audit conducted by Mo Monrovia. But addressing a press conference in Monrovia on Monday, NTA's Vice President for North Central Region, James Miller, claimed that the audit firm selected to conduct the audit was selected unilaterally and without their involvement.
We like to caution Mrs. Newman to stop misleading the public and respond to the actual issue on the ground. For the record, Madam Newman, we are not looking for dog. As you are aware, the right thing to be done at the deal is on. We will not rest until the comprehensive financial audit is done by a credible auditing firm that is vetted based on best practice and not on handpicked. As you continue to mislead the public about the compulsory constitutional requirement of financial audit, we want to challenge you to name the auditing firm that audited the accounts of the NTL prior to the convention in Wangima, Lufa County in December 2022. Better still, madam, if you are truly sincere about the information you put into the public domain on January 30, 2025, that there was an audit report submitted at the 2022 convention, we challenge you to share copy of such report with the public through the media. You cannot outsmart the more than 15,000 members of the NTL whose 2% you are luxuriously leashing on. With the support now, we are gradually getting from the due paying members of the NTAL, as evidenced by the gathering of more than 250 signatures of members who are demanding for a comprehensive audit at the NTAL from 2018 to 2022, we can assure you that you will not escape audit.
Intel's Vice President for North Central Region James Miller there speaking. The Press Bureau of the House of Representatives has strongly condemned allegations from talk show host and social media blog The Closing Argument. Robert Haynes is sponsoring media coverage of Representative Yeke Koluba and Musa Hassan Belati. Speaking to reporters Tuesday, House of Representative Director of Press Robert Haynes described the accusation as baseless and misleading, noting that such claims lacks accreditation due to failure to meet necessary media standards. According to Haynes, accreditation process is righteous and ensures that only legitimate media outlets, whether print, electronic, or online television, are granted access.
Alleged that the press bureau, under my supervision as director, is censoring media coverage of our representatives Yekep Kolwa of our Maserati District 10 and Honorable Musa Hassan Belete of District 7 Nima County. At no point in time that we tell you media practitioners what to report on and who to report on. We think as a professional person that is unethical. And I will not do that. Even my number of years serving in the media, in ministry, I was not told what to report on, who to report on. And so I'm not going to do that to any of the media institutions that we have duly accredited to provide coverage here at the house or anywhere we even meet to tell you what to report on and who to report on. And so the Bureau is very emphatic and refuses these claims made by the talk show platform on Facebook. We think it's basically a lack of factuality in it. And so there's nothing logical into that. We want to say that very clearly. What has happened is closing argument, folks, a gentleman, a very young gentleman, have met me a day to the president annual message and he requested me gave him access pass. And I told him, and in fact, he even went on to put Benjamin Salvin on the phone from the US. And I said to Benjamin Salvin that even our accredited reporters here at the legislature, some of them have been complaining that they were not even given access pass to provide coverage of the president annual message. Though they are accredited here, we receive limited number of access passes from the EPS. Dear friends, you will bear me witness that the SONA, there were a lot of restrictions, in terms of how people go about. And so even some of you who are providing coverage here, I have to appeal to you people that yes, what we receive from the EPS were not sufficient. LBS are initially put in to get 27 pieces, but we had to give them 15 pieces. The rest of it are left. In fact, as a matter of fact, we received 40 pieces. So all of the 40 pieces, LBL requested 27, but we had to talk to them and say, look, 75, you're bringing all your OB crew and technicians. We do not have much. We will give you 15. And that's how we had a conversation with the DG of LBS, myself, and other folks who were around. And then we started to give one. Imagine information ministry. We had to get in 2 access passes. The Senate Press Bureau getting 2 access passes. The House Press Bureau 2 access passes. And other media institutions, both local and international, they had to be able to chip in and we were able to improvise. But that is just one aspect. It was a time that the gentleman approached me. Second time was the one accreditation. And I asked the gentleman, we have a set rule here in terms of what we do that independent media institution at the close of the year in December, the red letter for accreditation. We don't censor any media institution on what to report and who to report on. That is unethical. We're not going to do that. We've never done that before, and we're not going to do it today or tomorrow. So to have this social media talk show people writing out The director of press.
The director of press, Robert Henson, there speaking. The former president of the Liberia Council of Churches has reiterated calls for the majority bloc of the House of Representatives to do the needful by taking its members to join the minority bloc in a special session and conduct a constitutional election that will legitimize Representative Richard Coon as Speaker. Addressing the press conference, Bishop Cottle Brown said Councillor Funati Kofa does not compel to be Speaker, but must be removed through the constitutional means.
If the majority of black believe that they have the majority, then let them step up and require this section. That we haven't yet considered that we need to, but I don't want to do it, do it in the limits. But that if his colleagues think that he can't sit there any longer, they should apply the rule of law. They should go by what the law requires. I don't think that the picture looks good. I don't think it's good for the rule of law, the governance. And I've said to people quietly, it's time that we bring this to a close. This is supposed to be simple, but the way it's gone and the confusion is generated, that's not very good for the country. And we said this over and again. It's time for the House of Representatives to go back to the section, hold some kind of special section, and take the votes. I don't think this is in it serves the general interest of the country that we keep dragging this. But as it stands, so far, I think it's still troubling.
The former president of the Liberia Council of Churches, Bishop Cottle Brown, there speaking. Welcome back and thanks for rejoining us. If you're just tuning in, you are listening to Kear News Line, 45 minutes of news, views, and analysis on Liberia, Africa, and the rest of our global community. Today is Tuesday, February 18, 2025, and I am Mariama Jalloh anchoring. And let's now bring you more details of the news. Employees of Boca Washington Institute staged peaceful protests demanding unsolved salary concern as students protest demanding unsolved salary concerns. Faculty members of the institution expressed frustration calling for swiftly intervention to address employees' concerns. Barely 2 weeks following the end of alliance with ruling Unity Party, Liberty Party vows to checkmate the Bwakakun administration. Liberty Party SG Martin Kula reassures his party's commitment to ensure accountability in government. Leadership crisis at National Teachers Associations deepens as majority members of National Executive Committee rejects the audit report done by Mo Monrovia, Association's North Central Region Vice President James Miller argues that the audit group was unilaterally selected without the committee's knowledge. And away from Liberia, police in South Africa are hot on the views of the suspect behind the killing of Marcin Hendricks, dubbed the world's first openly gay imam, Deputy Justice Minister Andrews now has said. That was a look at today's top stories. Let's now bring you more developments. The principal of Liberia's School of the Blind, Jackson Sua, called for inclusion and empowerment of persons with disabilities at the Monrovia City Corporation. Mr. Sua wants government ministries and agencies, including the Monrovia City Corporation, to be inclusive in their programs and initiatives by recognizing and empowering persons with disabilities in Liberia. He added that people with disabilities who also have the potential to contribute to the ordinance of the city, ensuring a clean and safe environment.
Agenda process for development for involving persons with disabilities. Those who are taking care of the secret parking management, that persons with speech impairment and physical challenge could be part of those facilities. Will be contributed.
The principal of Liberia's School of the Blind, Jackson Suade, speaking. The Deputy National Secretary General of the Alternative National Congress has accused the Bwaka Coons administration of doing nothing to improve the livelihood of Liberians. Speaking when he appeared as guest on the Monday's edition of the Kear Morning Show, Desmond Nimner asserted that since the inception of the UP administration, prices of basic commodities continue to skyrocket, adding that the economy of the country has decayed. Desmond Nimne added that the government of Liberia under President Joseph Walker is unserious, adding that the masses continue to cry and express their disappointment in this administration.
Go down the market. The president, during his State of the Nation address recently, announced to the country that the restaurant of 2,000 Liberian dollars for the package, which was false. All right? The economy is in McDonald's Dylan voice, even though he does not say it nowadays because he's predecessor. In fact, he has even left from the sector 10. It has gone dry, it has decayed. You cannot see things that people have been seeing, have been at a certain price. Those things are not at the prices any longer. That's why I say, for instance, the restaurant that is, as we were talking about, you have 3,300 to $3,500. The $1 million for a breakfast. What is that rice on Saturday for 3,500? Oh yes. For package. Oh yes. All right. You have only care about the salaries that they receive every day. Some of the changes that we expect for them to make, they're not making it.
Meanwhile, Desmond Limley at the same time warned Information Minister to be mindful the way he goes about responding to ANC political leader Alexandra Cummins, adding that the minister is on a business in the Unity Party.
I just listened to one, after the election, they give the country, he accepted to respond to Mr. Cummings. I think he's the Minister of Information. Yeah, I listened to him. Can you imagine a man who cannot survive outside of government? Right after citizen won election, when he was presidential press secretary, right after citizen won election on the monetary, right after citizen won election, he fled this country. We all know that. We all know PR. I mean, is that the kind of man that want to question the leadership ability of Mr. Alexander Bennett Cummings? A man who, when election ends or when election finishes, when he start losses, he will fly back to the election of America to go and continue his last cooking. Is that the kind of man that want to question the ability of Mr. Cummings?
The man is a mouthpiece of the government.
And so what? So you must just, being the mouthpiece of the government, you have to be serious. You cannot just speak out and the PR needs to watch the wrongs against opposition.
The voice of the Deputy National Secretary General of the Alternative National Congress, Desmond Limley. The Netherlands Institute for Multi-Party Democracy with funding from the European Union, Swedish and Irish government has begun a 5-day deliberation aimed at enhancing democracy in Bangabong County. The Institute's country director, Councillor Oscar Blow, disclosed that the training is part of the support of the EU for multi-party democracy and peaceful elections in Liberia.
So the democracy school is a 5-day event as part of the election support project. It's funded by the European Union, the Swedish and the Irish. Multi-party democracy.
No, that goes.
And it's being hosted in partnership with NATO partners for democratic development. The training is on the background that democracy starts with dialogue. And to be able to dialogue, we targeted 30 known leaders. The leaders are from several political parties. They're from student governments across the country, particularly universities. And it's intended to provide knowledge, build skills, but to also create trust among young people and diverse political.
The Netherlands Institute for Multi-Party Democracy country director, Councillor Oscar Bloch, there speaking. Limba County Senator Yantuan has disclosed that discussions of threshold for elections is underway at the Liberian Senate. According to Senator Tuan, citizens are grossly underrepresented based on the failure to implement the report gathered from the census. Senator Tuan added that despite the Constitution provides that there should not be more than 100 representatives at a time, constituent must be ably represented. He made these comments during a radio talk show in Monrovia.
I, in particular, did a communication to the Senate and people are grossly underrepresented because I'm from Limba. or 30,000 or 40,000 people should have a representative, we should actualize it based upon the census result. Holding constant also that the Constitution requires that no matter what we do, we should not exceed more than 100 representatives at a time, except we want to change the Constitution through a referendum to add more. So there is not a straight jacketed science towards that. So but we have to reach a compromise where we can now say this is the census result, given the population density and the population structure of each county. This is the threshold we should establish to represent people. And so other senators picked on it, and after a couple of months now, it is one of the
Nimba County Senator Yantuan there speaking. Employees of the Booker Washington Institute have staged a go-slow demanding unsolved salary concerns. The actions of the BWI employees brought normal activities on the campus to a standstill. The workers are demanding clarity and fairness in salary payments, citing delays and inconsistencies that have affected their livelihood. Here is the group secretary David Moore with the statement.
Operational efficiency being there are. If you are important issues to look at, number one, existing salary disparities, the absence of structured salary system has led to arbitrary wage allocations, resulting in unfair compensation and diminishing staff self-esteem. Number two, unresolved salary discrepancies, BWR, and then the lack of LBDR, the Liberian Development Bank, so to develop Liberia.
The group secretary David Moore with this statement. This development is taking us home, but before we go, we bring you a recap of the headlines. Employees of the Booker Washington Institute staged peaceful protests demanding unsolved salary concerns as students and faculty members of the institutions expressed frustration, calling for swiftly intervention to address employees' concerns. Barely 2 weeks following the end of alliance with ruling Unity Party, Liberty Party vows to checkmate the Waka Kun administration. Liberty Party SG Martin Kula reassures his party's commitment to ensuring accountability in government. Leadership crisis at National Teachers Associations deepens as majority members of the National Executive Committee reject audit report done by Mo Monrovia. Association's North Central Region Vice President James Miller argues that the audit group was unilaterally selected without the committee's knowledge. And away from Liberia, police in South Africa are hot on the heels of the suspects behind the killing of Muslim Hendricks, dubbed the world's first open gay imam. Deputy Minister Justice Andrews now has said. That's bringing us to the end of today's edition of Kear News Line. Many thanks to all those who listened to us and to all those who helped in making this program a success. Jefferson, we are sat at control, and on behalf of the entire news team here, my name is Mariama Jalloh. Good evening. Good morning.